I just wanted to jump on here because typically in life, we separate things into quarters. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. And unless you've been living under a rock, you just watched the Knicks, who are going into game 5 tonight, execute one of the greatest comebacks in NBA, let alone the finals. And they were down 29 going into the third quarter. And experts say that the Knicks aren't comfortable unless they're playing from behind. But nobody wants to be behind. The Spurs habitually get off to an early start. And it reminded me of conversations that I have often with clients. It's the third quarter. You in the third quarter of life, as you look at retirement, are in a unique situation where you can either choose to just roll over and just give up and just hope for the best. Hope is not a strategy, by the way. Or you can have a mental shift and just do things a little bit differently and still position yourself for success now and in retirement. And I promise you, the IUL is not the way. And a little bit of effort, just like the Knicks, it didn't happen all at once. It's one bucket at a time. That mindset shift is one change at a time. Starting to prepare more meals, starting to drink less coffee, starting to consolidate movements when you go places, starting to just do different things around the house. So it doesn't take a huge shift in the way that you steward your finances. It just takes effort, energy, and intentionality. So, and I promise you the IUL is not the way, because the last thing you want to do is part with your money and not have access to it. Like the Knicks didn't chip away and put people on the bench. They didn't play from a point of weakness. They operated from a place of strength where they were chipping away at the lead, and they were still exuding the maximum amount of effort and energy. And with your money, it's no different. It's called currency for a reason. It's energy. You put it out for it to come back in. And if you put it in the wrong vehicle and give up access to it, then you have to sacrifice your lifestyle today. And in essence, you lose. The Knicks won. So, and that's exactly what infinite banking is designed to do. The properly structured whole life policy, you don't have to give up access to your money. It's like a savings account on steroids. A lot of people keep their money in the mattress, which is hustling backwards because it's actually losing value because of the rate of inflation. Some people put it in the bank, and the bank is literally stewarding your funds for you and loaning it back to you. And that's how they make their money. The banks are the brokest institutions on the planet. They have $0. They're leveraging your effort and energy to loan money to you so that you can live your life. It's the biggest scam in the world. But if you put it into an insurance policy, which is where the banks put their money, by the way, you still have access to your money. So it's like a savings account on steroids. So you can put the money in, and in the event that you need it to go on vacation, you have an emergency at home, just like an emergency fund at the house, if the water heater AC goes out, if anything comes up, you simply log into your portal just like you do your online banking, request the funds, and they transfer it to you via ACH in 3 business days. So it really is you just being and managing your money more responsibly. And it's just different than what most of us have been taught about money and the relationship with money. The other things that you get with infinite banking that you don't get anywhere else is all but guaranteed consistent growth, because they haven't missed a dividend payment in over 120 years. So your money is going to grow consistently, even when you borrow from yourself. So you have $1,000 in the policy, you need $300 to go buy tires. Yes, you're going to pay interest on the $300, far less interest than you would pay if you put it on a credit card, which is a whole nother hack that we can talk about. The credit card hack is amazing. Like, my whole life is subsidized by credit card points and gift cards. But you're going to pay interest on the $300 to the tune of, I think right now the interest rate is 6.5%, but you're going to earn a dividend on the entire $1,000 as if it never left your account, because technically it didn't, because you're borrowing from the insurance company. So it's really your money working in multiple places at the same time. And that doesn't happen in the savings account. You put $1,000 in the savings account. When you pull the money from your savings account, that money is no longer working for you in the savings account. Not only is the interest not as rewarding as it is in the insurance policy, but when you pull that money from your savings account, they're no longer paying you on that money, and you're going to replenish it. And just like the savings account in the insurance policy, you get to put the money back into the insurance policy when you get ready to, on your own terms. There's no payment plan, because you created the leverage that you would typically give up to the bank. You created that leverage for yourself inside of the insurance policy. the other benefits that you get from a properly structured whole life policy, not something that they say is like whole life or something that they just call whole life, that, or they say it's a permanent plan when it's really not permanent. It has the potential to be, but you don't do anything based on potential. You don't marry on potential. You don't draft based on potential. It is what it is. So we're not going to steward our money based on potential either, because like I said earlier, hope is not a strategy. But you get living benefits, critical, chronic, and terminal illness. So that, again, going back to the savings account and having access to the money, you have $1,000 in the savings account, you get sick and have to take time off of work. Now, and most people are just one paycheck away from financial ruin, or two at the most. But if you get injured at work, critical, chronic, or terminal illness, heart attack, stroke, we never know what's going to happen. But if that does happen, you only have that $1,000 to lean on. If you put that money into an insurance policy, critical, chronic, and terminal illness, usually easily 15, 20 times that, so that you can sustain your lifestyle while you recover, which is another reason it's great for business owners, because now you can still run your business or hire somebody to run the business for you to protect the cash flow and keep it going. But even if you just work a 9 to 5, it's a way to stand your household up while you're unable to go to work. And then in the event ultimately that you pass away, you have $1,000 in a savings account. That $1,000 is all your family has to lean on. That pays maybe a mortgage payment, if that. It doesn't, maybe pays 2 months' bills. And that income is not coming back. If you put it into an insurance policy, now they have these death benefits tax-free that are going to pay out, that are going to stand the family up, so that the last thing that they have to worry about, they're already going through enough because they're grieving. They've just lost somebody that they care about. The least that you can do is make sure that they don't have to worry about how they're going to live, where their next meal is going to come from, how they're going to keep a roof over their head, that you can alleviate that burden because you said you love them. And it's not really a sacrifice, because we just talked about we're really just changing where your money goes first. You're not setting money aside that you don't have access to for 5 to 7 years. You have access to it inside of 30 days. Up to about 75, 80% of it within 30 days to go do with it what you will in the event that you need to. If not, it's there being stewarded for you. And the other amazing thing that people talk about when they talk about this strategy or these vehicles is the fact that it grows tax-free. If you grow money in a savings account, a brokerage account, and I'm not telling you not to do those things, I'm just telling you to put it here first so that you can lock in compound dividends for yourself, just like the Knicks compounded that effort from the third quarter to finish the game with a W to be a 3-1 going into tonight, looking to close out what I think is their first championship in 20 plus years. And just like you're going into the fourth quarter of your life, looking at retirement, looking for the W. But in any case, it's growing tax-free. Whereas if you put it anywhere else in the market, you're going to pay capital gains taxes, or your access is restricted, or you're exposing yourself to risk. There's no risk here. And if you put it in a savings account, they're going to 1099 you every year for the minimal amount of interest that they paid you to begin with, while they made interest on your money by loaning it out through credit cards, car loans, mortgages, all the things that you do to live your life. So if any of this makes sense to you, or you want to have a deeper conversation about how insurance, how infinite banking, how to better steward your funds, any interest in how this can work for you, just comment, bank, DM me, just tap in, and we'll talk about how to hack the financial system and create some leverage and have your money work for you, because it truly should be another income within your household. Your income, if you have a spouse, your spouse's income, and your money should also generate funds for you as well. And if it's not doing that, we should probably have a conversation, because I promise you it's not as intimidating and not as daunting a task or as big an adjustment as you might think it is, or as it seems. And I would rather have a conversation with you about it than have you wonder, avoid, and not put yourself and your family in a position of strength where finances, legacy, where all the things are concerned, because we're all going to leave here someday. And I think if we're honest with ourselves, all we really want to do is make a mark. Our children, leave them better off than we were left. And this is one of the ways, not that you should make sacrifices, but without making dramatic sacrifices to your lifestyle now in order to prepare for the future, because it doesn't have to be that way. But I promise you, this is a great place to start. And again, if you want to have that conversation, just comment, bank. We'll get you over some information. I'm the last person that's going to try to sell you on anything. I just want to educate you, because if you don't get it from me, then chances are you're not going to get it, or you're going to go somewhere where somebody tries to sell you something that wasn't really meant for you, or something that was created to fleece you of your money. have you part with your money as opposed to something to help you steward your funds, which is all we really want to do is put ourselves in a better position. So if I can help, use me. If not, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be well.